Harry Potter throws away the Resurrection Stone. Why? Hey guys, welcome back. If you remember at the end of the Deathly Hallows Part 2 and also in the book, Harry just throws away the Resurrection Stone in the Forbidden Forest after using it to speak to his parents, Sirius Black and Remus Lupin, who all gave him the reassurance he needed as he made his way to face Voldemort in what he believed would be his final moment on Earth. He then lets the stone fall from his hand, and it becomes lost on the forest floor, never to be found again as far as I'm aware. The question I have is, why? Why did he do that? He had one of the Deathly Hallows in his hand, a means of communication with the dead, and he just tosses it away. Why didn't he keep it? Why didn't he think that maybe Ron would want to talk to Fred or George? Even maybe young Teddy could talk to his parents one day. Maybe Molly wants to talk to her son. Give it to Molly Weasley. Keep it in your pocket. Personally, I'd have kept it, but after trying to think of things from Harry's perspective, really jump inside Harry's mind, these reasons started to come to me as to why Harry wouldn't exactly need the stone for himself, nor would he want anyone else to have it. So I'm just going to dive right in and give you these reasons. So, for starters, the stone was not created by Death. I know the story is told that Death was the stone's creator, but that's just part of the tale of the three brothers to fuel the myth of the Hallows. It still baffles me, guys, that some fans actually believe that Death itself created the Hallows. Death did not create the Hallows. If it makes the series fall into the fairy tale fantasy side of storytelling instead of the more magically practical side, well, okay, go ahead if that makes sense to you all. I just hate when the books go too overboard in what's believable and what's not, even though it's all fiction. So, in truth, the stone was scientifically created under the boundaries of magic by a genius inventor and wizard named Cadmus Peverell. Now, it's never been proven what the core substance for the stone was, but when I look at the other two Hallows, I just see one creature, a Thestral. These creatures are greatly misunderstood, are absolutely beautiful and incredibly unique. I don't think enough is known about them, but what we do know is that the Elder Wand's core is a Thestral tail hair. Now I believe the Cloak of Invisibility is the only one of its kind because it's the only cloak to ever be made from Thestral's skin, woven with Thestral hair. This, for me, is the only explanation for how the cloak is so powerful, and the stone is from a Thestral's heart. Why? Why is everything linked to the Thestral? It's the only creature that seems to have a connection between the world of the living and the world of the dead. You cannot see a Thestral unless you have truly witnessed and understood death. There's just something about this creature, and I can't really put my finger on it, but the Resurrection Stone has the ability to harness the Thestral's connection to the world of the dead. How Cadmus Peverell managed to do it, I will never know, and I don't think any of us will ever know. I can't even prove it, it's just my own theory, but what I do believe I know is why Harry tossed that stone away. Harry knows Cadmus used the stone, overused it, every hour of every day in order to keep his wife with him. We know that didn't work out very well, as the stone only brings back the person in spirit or corporeal form. You can't feel the person, you can't touch the person, you can't hug them, nothing. The person is unnaturally pulled from the land of the dead, the other side, and truthfully doesn't belong with the living. The longer the deceased person remains in the living world, the more of who they are gets pulled back until they become nothing but an emotionless shell. Harry knew that the stone would never give him the permanent solution he wanted. He knew he had to truly accept that the people he loved were gone, were dead, otherwise he'd never stop using the stone and he would become lost in its power. And that brings me on to the next reason. Harry would never be able to truly move on if his parents, Sirius, Remus, Dumbledore, even Snape, were all readily available at his beck and call. He would constantly go to them for advice and would actually forget to deal with his issues and problems by himself. And another reason is due to the fact that these spirits are on the other side, meaning they've found peace and they want to stay there. How wrong it would be for Harry to just pull them back to the world of the living for his own personal, selfish needs. The overall creation of the stone was a burden on the dead and should not have been ever even considered to be created in the first place. It is talked about as a myth because its level of power, what it can do, is truly incredible, truly unbelievable. Harry knew it would be the exact same situation for others who would use the stone. Let's go back quickly to George and Ron. How would they ever get over Fred's death if they could just always speak to him? I honestly feel like the Weasleys would keep the stone because of how many their family members they've lost. Molly in particular has lost her 2 brothers, Fabian and Gideon, and also her son Fred. I feel like the Resurrection Stone masks the pain of grief. Harry didn't destroy it because it wasn't his place to. I'm not even sure he'd know how to destroy it, but I do know for sure that he respected the Hallows enough to leave their existence to fate. Harry didn't want to interfere with something he had no part in creating. He simply just came across the Hallows and moved on. That's why it angers me that they had Harry destroy the Elder Wand at the end of the Deathly Hallows Part 2 movie, when he actually placed the wand back in Dumbledore's tomb. It highlighted Harry being humble about a power that he'd never truly understand. It's one of the most important paragraphs in the book, and I still can't believe it was changed to him snapping the wand and tossing it over the bridge. But the less said about that part, the better. He knew what the cloak could do. He knew its power and he understood it. That's why he kept it, even after realising it was one of the Hallows. And additionally guys, I know I touched upon the actual proper creation of the Deathly Hallows. If that's a video you'd like me to see go into more detail on, then let me know in the comment section below. Do some of you still believe that death actually made the Hallows, or do you believe in the more science-based, magical approach to the Hallows creation? Let me know, but it's something that I would definitely look to create in the future. I do have a really old video on my theory behind the Hallows, like 6-7 years old, so I was thinking maybe I could give that kind of video an update to a more fresher approach. I'll look into that as well. But anyway guys, with that being said, that's my video on why Harry threw the Resurrection Stone away. If you have any other reasons as to why you think he did it, let me know in the comment section below. Hope you're having a great 2025 so far. See you all for the next video.